I love ya! My name is Oshun. On this channel, we uncover the creepiest, most unusual haunted TikToks the internet has to offer for entertainment purposes. Y'all are my soul tribe. Tribe is with a Y because the Y is for you. And that's because I love you so freaking much. I have not been recording in a couple of weeks, okay, because baby girl was doing her hair and we had a situation. I got my hair done. I'll tell you at the end. Stay tuned, okay? Anyway, y'all are my soul tribe. I love you so much. I appreciate you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Soul Tribe for your weekly dose of supernatural, coming to you every Sunday and Thursday, honey. Okay, now, let's get to this video.
So I just woke up to talk about your mama, not me. You guys kept tagging me in this. I just had to stitch it. Start off by saying, I'm so sorry that you're getting so much hate in the comments. Everybody swears it's something else than what it actually is. The fact that you have to keep proving that, it wasn't fake. It's okay because I'm right here with you. But let me give you a word of advice. Next time, if there is a next time, don't poke it with a stick. Don't try to move it or anything. If your friends don't want to do that, they want to set themselves up, let them. I'm not saying anything bad is going to happen to you. Just a heads up in case you happen to see the same thing next time. Because you never actually know what other mermaids are watching. You don't know who or what hurt that specific mermaid. Just always be careful. With pictures and videos, I feel like, I don't know, like you see something like that, want to take a picture in the video, obviously. But I'm still a little on edge about it. But this is all going to be explained all over in the YouTube video. I got my hair done so I can finally film it. First of all, hey guys, it's me, Blizzy, CEO of, telling y'all about mermaids. Now, this video is only going to be 60 seconds because I took a long break. Some of y'all didn't know, but I had a baby. And now that I'm back, TikTok is not pushing out my content when I make 3-minute videos. So if you know my page, then you already know what I'm about to tell y'all. From watching that video, I'm not going to lie, it looked very much fake. I feel like the guy that jumped was just under the bridge the whole time and they were just doing it for clout. But it does not take away the fact that that bridge specifically, and this is what I've heard from a lot of Jamaicans, a lot of mermaid actions be happening there, yeah. And those people that were like recording the that video, they're playing around that like they really can't get snatched up. Anyways, y'all let me know if y'all want me to do another mermaid series. Only this time I'm gonna do it on YouTube. I know I said I was gonna do that already, but let me live. Hey y'all, it's been a minute, but I told y'all I was gonna start with new content, so here I am. This video will be one of the first videos to a new series where I'm going to be telling you about a lot of Haitian mystical myths. With that being said, let's get started. First off, we're going to start with the one and only Papa Legba. Even saying his name, I'm like, so who is Papa Legba? Papa Legba is the gatekeeper of the spirits in Haitian voodoo culture. He is the first spirit that is invoked in any ritual. He is the communicator. He's like the door. So if you are trying to do a ritual, you have to get through him first. That's why a lot of the times when people are doing rituals, they do an offering for him. People that have seen him often said that he's like a poor old man wearing a straw hat, dressed in rags and a smoking pipe, and that he has dogs with him. And he usually has a cane. But even though he seems like a weak old man, he is actually one of the most powerful spirit in the voodoo world. Now that y'all have like an idea of him, let's talk about why you should not be messing with Papa Legba. This is Caitlin Reston, or known as Cat. Now, before we start talking about her, let me start by saying that I am not in any way bashing Caitlin. I'm just here to educate like I always tell you guys. You guys know I always tell you to not mess with what you don't know about. Caitlin was part of a group on social media that practiced spells. And then one day she decided that she wanted to get into voodoo. Now, this caught a lot of people's attention. And a lot of users from Twitter and Facebook was warning her not to do that. And that voodoo is not something to be played with if you don't know what it is. And she stated that she should be able to practice anything that she wants to. She said, and I quote, "Shut the fuck up and let me be." So she decides that she's going to try to summon Papa Legba. 3 weeks later, she made a post saying that she saw Papa Legba and that she was terrified. 2 days after that post, she was found dead in her bathtub, drowned. Now, if you know me and you've been following me for a while, I have been telling people these spells that you see on this app, these people that are so-called witches and whatever, and they're telling you these things to do, stop. Just please stop doing it for your own sake. Because first of all, a lot of these things are closed practiced. It is not meant for you. You have no idea how bad you can fuck your life up just because you saw a trend on TikTok and you wanted to try it. Next episode, we're going to talk about Loas. So stay tuned.
Baby, I've said this story before. Don't do and dabble in nothing that you have not researched. If it's not in your bloodline, things that have, just stay away from it, especially if it's not in your bloodline, honey, because you don't know what you be messing with can come back to you and fuck up somebody else's life, fuck up your life, and you end up in a crazy house, end up dead, or I don't know if I can say that word, my bad, but yeah, leave it alone.
Hey my lovelies. So I woke up today and my voice is feeling a little better. So I thought I would take advantage, and it still might go in and out, but scary story time. I have had the story this whole time and I'm so excited to tell it, but I couldn't because obviously I didn't have a voice. But the person that gave me the story would like to remain anonymous. That's because it's a mermaid story and she was actually abducted by one, and she would like to tell her story. So let's get into it. She used to live in Haiti, and her house, she used to live in a province, and her house was located very, very close to a river. Her and her friends would go play in the river literally every day, all the time, because it's so much fun. She would have adult supervision sometimes, but her house was just so close to it that you can literally see the river from her house. So sometimes it would just be her and her friends playing there. So anyways, there's this thing that you can do by the river, and I used to do it too, is where you can make your own little pond right next to the river, and it's so much fun to do. So one day, her and her friends decided, let's each make our own pond. And she decided that she was gonna make the biggest pond, the most beautiful pond. She was gonna put fishes in it and everything. And so she started her pond, and basically the way that you do it is you just dig and dig, and eventually the water rises up within your pond, and then you can customize it however. And so that day, her and her friends started, and she made the biggest pond. She dug it really large, and she was so proud of her pond that she's gonna make and everything that she was gonna do to it. Oh, and I should also add that she said that every time she went to the river and she was playing with her friends, she always felt like she was being watched. It just always felt like there were eyes on her. But she was a kid. She didn't really know what to do with the feeling. She's just here to play. And so she started on her pond. She went home that night and she went to sleep as normal. And that night, she went to sleep and she dreamt that there was this older lady in all white. Even her head was covered in a white scarf. The lady came and put the most beautiful, biggest fish in her pond. And so the next morning, as soon as she woke up, the first thing on her mind was to go check on her pond, and that's what she did. She ran to her pond, and there it was. The fish that she had dreamt about the night before is there in her pond. She said that it spooked her a little bit, but she was also kind of happy about it because she wanted to put fishes in her pond. That was one of her plans. It was a bit scary, but she was happy about it. Mind you guys, this was early in the morning. She had woken up and her parents were still asleep. And as she was standing there looking at her pond, looking at the fish, kind of spooked, kind of happy, that feeling, that overwhelming feeling of her being watched came over her 10 times. And as soon as she got that feeling, she turned around to face the river, and there it was. She saw a mermaid. She was just kind of frozen because it was just there, staring at her. And then she says, everything went black. Did y'all hear about that lady who went on a voodoo retreat in Haiti and never came back, and now they're telling her son that she passed away? Dana Jackson from Charlotte, North Carolina, felt the need that she wanted to be a mumble. And if you don't know, a mumble is a voodoo priestess. Mumbles are born into voodoo. I want to say that 99% of mumbles were born into it. And when I say born into it, it doesn't have to be directly from your parents, but it's in your bloodline. Now, when she got there, she was in full communication with her family members through WhatsApp. And then communication just stopped. After that, they received a phone call basically telling them like, hey, I'm sorry, but she passed away. And then got a death certificate in the mail, which, to be quite honest with you, it's Haiti. Anybody could have written that. Anybody could have edited that. That's not what I'm saying it happened, but anyway, so obviously her family isn't buying it. I'm not buying it either. So as a Haitian myself, someone that educates you guys about these kind of things all the time, here's what I think happened. I think it's one of those two things. It's either one, she's very much still alive. And I'm not about to joke with you when I say this, but she's probably abducted by some mermaids, was probably sacrificed, and now she's with the mermaids. I understand how ridiculous that sounds, but I'm so dead serious. Or number two, she did pass away. However, they did still sacrifice her. Somebody out there owns her soul, and she's probably on somebody's farm working right now, her poor soul. Which brings me back to what I always tell you guys on here. Voodoo is a closed practice. Not everybody can just up and decide that they want to do voodoo. There's so much to it. There's process. There's so much to it to even start seriously. Even if you were born into it, even if it's in your bloodline, there's so much to it. And I don't think people understand how deep it goes, when it comes to this thing. People learn about spirituality and ancestors and some witchcraft, and they think they're experts. Now, I'm not saying that was her case. But if we learn from Kat, the girl that tried to summon Papa Legba and ended up the same way, not for nothing, I really do feel like she was sacrificed because, unless she went down there, she really went down there on her own. Which I doubt, because how did she know about the retreat? How did she know where to go? Someone is involved here. I don't know. What do y'all think? All my African watchers, my Caribbean watchers, the ones that know how this thing goes, what do y'all think? So there's this girl named Lena, and she's having sleep paralysis, right? I don't know how that goes. She can't move. However, there's a whispering in her ear. Something is whispering something, but she can't understand what it's saying. She's terrified. She's freaking out, right? And after about 10 to 15 seconds, she snaps out of it. Sleep paralysis is done. She instantly sat up to take a breather because that was traumatizing. That was scary. Anybody who's had sleep paralysis know how scary it is. Anyways, as she's sitting there, she's looking at her dresser, and her dresser happened to have a mirror that happened to be facing her. Yeah. In the mirror, she's looking at herself, her reflection sitting up. And as she's looking at herself, something seems off. But then again, she just woke up, so her eyes are still kind of blurry. So she rubs her eyes, trying to figure out, just getting herself together. So she reaches to grab her phone, right? Only to realize, wait a minute, my reaction didn't reach to grab her phone either. That's when she started to really focus on her reflection, in the mirror, to realize that her reflection, her in the mirror, is sitting up, but she's not moving. She's just looking at her. She stands up, gets a little closer to the mirror to make sure, and her reflection is still indeed sitting there. And as she got closer to the mirror, she realizes her reflection that is not moving also has this shadowy figure standing behind her. And automatically she looks behind her in the room, but there's nobody in the room, but the figure is in the mirror. And if you thought she was terrified from the sleep paralysis before, she's definitely shitting her pants now. She froze, y'all. She froze. As much as she wanted to run out the room, her body gave up on her. And as she's frozen, she's watching this shadowy figure move closer to her reflection and touch her on the shoulder. The crazy thing is, her reflection is not even flinching. It's like her reflection don't even know what's going on, like a zombie. Then, all of a sudden, her reflection is turning her head to face the shadowy figure. And when it made eye contact with the shadowy figure, it started to smile. She started to smile, except it's not her. And then she turns back to look at Lena and smile even wider. Then the shadowy figure whispers something to the reflection of Lena in the mirror. As the shadowy figure is whispering whatever it is that it's whispering, Lena is hearing it in her ear. And it's the same whispering she was just hearing from the sleep paralysis. At this point, she was really frozen, except she doesn't even think at this point that she's frozen because her body is scared. She thinks she's frozen because she's being held in that place, in that spot. She's trying to move. She wants to move, but she can't. It's as if she's tied up to that spot. The more the figure was whispering, the weaker she felt like she was getting. At this point, Lena starts to pray in her mind. Because she's like, this is the end for me. Like, I really want to go. I want to run, but I can't move. And she's hearing those whispers in her ear. And the more she was praying in her head, the angrier the whispers got, the louder the whispers were getting. So she took that as a challenge to try and pray in her mind even louder. All of a sudden, her dad busts into her room. Gets in there, he finds her standing in front of her mirror, staring at it, saying nothing. He instantly scooped her up and brought her to his room. There, as soon as he got there, he grabbed his Bible and started praying. Come to find out, Dad was sleeping and was having a dream. He was having a dream that Lena was screaming and crying for him, saying, help me, Dad, help me, they're taking me away, Except he was in the middle of a forest, he hears her voice, but didn't know where she was coming from. And then he woke up and decided to go check on Lena. And that's when he found her like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a reason why you should not be sleeping with a mirror facing you. If you know, you know.
But hey, that was so creepy. Like, extremely gave me the chills, honey. Okay, I've already known this. That's why I do not have no mirrors in my bedroom at all. Back when, like, I used to keep the mirror in there and I would just cover it up at night, but no, I took the mirror out completely. I don't even have a TV in my room. I don't sleep with my phone in my room. I'll sleep with it by my door because I need the alarm, honey. I don't sleep with my watch on no more because it's still a little black screen, which is a portal. Honey, I'm not playing, okay? I love my sleep, I love my dreams, and I don't need them interrupted with nothing evil or nothing that doesn't belong there, okay? Yes, please don't sleep with it. I know a lot of us used to, back in the day, I don't know, a lot of minimalistic going on now, but people have, you know, the dressers with the mirror on the dresser. Cover it up at night. Cover your TVs up at night, okay? Don't sleep with your phone in your bed. That's for health reasons. But yeah, if you can, don't even have no electronics in your room at all when you sleep. Period.
Let me tell you why you shouldn't play with your shadow. Scary story time. So my godfather, he watches my TikToks a lot, and obviously he loves my content, and he's also Haitian. And he called me the other day and he was like, I have so many stories for you to tell your followers of things that happened to me when I was in Haiti, and this is one of them. So he said he was really young at the time, like he was a young boy, and one night right before his bedtime, he was just playing around, and for some reason he just started playing with his shadow, you know, just dancing with his shadow. He was dancing and dancing and dancing, and he was having a great time. And finally, when it was time for him to go to bed, he went to bed. And this is when it starts. Have y'all ever heard of the Hat Man? The man in the hat that supposedly is in everybody's dream, right? When he was telling me this story, y'all, he didn't even know who the Hat Man was. And I had to tell him, I was like, yo, he was in your dream too? Anyways, he goes to sleep and he wakes up in the middle of the night. He said he was dreaming, but it wasn't a dream. Like like the way it felt, it was not a dream. He woke up, but it was not a dream. I don't know how to explain it. I hope that like makes sense. Anyways, he wakes up and there's the Hat Man. The Hat Man walks into his room and just looks at him with this like creepy smile. He is terrified, y'all. So then the Hat Man walks closer to him, and guess what he tells him? Come dance with me. Come dance with me. And as he's saying, come dance with me, he's backing up. He's like, come dance with me. Come dance with me. He's backing up, and as he backs up, he gets to the door, he stops. And all of a sudden, my godfather hears drums outside. Now, if you're Caribbean, you know it's not just like the regular drums, but like the tambour. And if you know tambour, you know tambour sounds like that was a terrible interpretation, but you get it. And it sounds like there is a party outside. And as soon as the drum starts going, the Hat Man starts dancing right there in front of him. And the dance that he was doing, my godfather said is so creepy. At this point, he's crying. Like, he's a young boy, and at this point, he is in tears, y'all. And the Hat Man it just keeps telling him, come dance with me, come dance with me, come dance with me. He's dancing and it's telling him, come dance with me. He's dancing. It's like, and it's like a whole lot of people outside. You hear the people outside dancing and partying, kind of like a ritual, right? My godfather is screaming, crying. So then his mom, for some reason, she knew what was going on. I don't know how, but she knew what was going on. She came into that room, took him to her room. Now, obviously, she didn't see anything in the room. It was only my godfather that saw everything that was happening. Oh, but the story doesn't end there. So he goes to his mom's room, and of course he feels a little bit safer, because he's with his mom, so he goes back to sleep. Then he starts dreaming again, but this time the dream was a little different. 6. Okay, so if you were serving them and they let you go, you have to come back and serve them whenever.
Okay, so I've been channeling mermaids for a few months now. People don't fucking listen to me, but it's not just in Hades that there is mermaids. There is mermaids all over. If there's water, there are mermaids. She's just talking about her experience, which was obviously so interesting. You need to go follow her series. But my experience is Florida. There are mermaids in Florida. Nobody can tell me that there are not. I saw one. Also, the Bermuda Triangle is right by Florida. So be careful on ocean waters in Florida as well. The mermaid that talked to me and connected with me was very beautiful. Blue. I'm going to show you guys a picture behind me. Like this. Very beautiful, very beautiful. She basically told me that her purpose in talking to me was to let me know that, one, I was a mermaid in a past life and in this life, and two, and males that are going to be waking up during this 5D and getting tails, like deadass told me, that people are going to be reverting back into their mermaid forms, like aquamarine H2O Cleo type shit.
Got my snacks, so get yours, baby. Y'all will never unbig y'all backs fucking with me. So this actually happened in DR. Person that submitted this story, their grandma, the story is really from their grandma's hometown. So in DR, the hometown that they're from is called San Felipe. That's where her whole family's from. Anyway, back in the day in that town, there was a lady that was known for voodoo. People, like everybody, feared her and stayed out her way because they know not to mess with her. This was like a known thing. Like the kids wouldn't even play close to her house. None of that. So anyway, one day, one of the family members that lived around like the town, they were having somebody coming from the States to DR to visit them for I think it was 2 weeks. Yeah, it was 2 weeks. I don't know why Miguel didn't get, that's the person that visited, that's the family member. His name's Miguel. Miguel, nobody told him about the lady. And I feel like it's because they felt like they shouldn't have told him. At the same time, give him a heads up. Anyways, Miguel was born here in the States. So he didn't really know, he knew about his culture. He spoke Spanish, of course, but he didn't know how deep that it goes back, in your hometown. So one afternoon, Miguel decided that he's going to go take a walk. And so he does. And not knowing that that's that lady's house, he takes a walk and he walks past the lady. The lady happened to be sitting on her porch. And so he's walking past and the lady's just looking at him walk past. And for some reason, that bothered Miguel. Miguel, looked back at her kind of what are you looking at? Miguel was on the phone too. I forgot to mention that part. So when he walked past and the lady was looking at him, and all of this happened while he's on the phone. And so when Miguel looks at him with the look what you looking at, he says on the phone yeah, some old lady just keeps staring at me. And he says it in English. Now, if you visit out there and you know your language, try to avoid English as much as possible for your safety. But Miguel didn't do that. So the lady's okay, you're one of them spoiled little kids from the States. Bet, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. That's all it took. It only took Miguel to give a look and say who she thinks you're talking to. Who she thinks you're looking at. You get it. Everything's fine. Miguel goes home. He goes to sleep. He wakes up in the morning and he wants to go outside. And the moment he opens the front door, he sees a doll. There's a doll sitting in front of the door. The doll looks exactly like him, wearing exactly what he's wearing. So he's like, there's got to be some kind of sick joke. Who think they funny? And he grabs the doll. He goes around to his family members who did this? Who did this? And the entire family's nobody did that. Why would we be no, we didn't do this. And so he goes to his grandma, they're playing a game with me and they don't want to tell me that they're playing a game with me. And when grandma saw the doll, grandma was like, where did you get that? He's like, yeah, it was at the front door. Grandma's like, he looks exactly like you. He's like, yeah, I know, I get it. That's the joke. Grandma's like, this is not a joke. Drop that thing right now. And she slaps it out of his hand. Grandma instantly starts interrogating him. Who did you speak to? Did you speak to anybody? Because, again, grandmas be knowing. He almost even forgot about it, but he remembered and he told grandma about the lady. And the grandma started asking him, was the lady wearing this? Is she this? Are these her facial features? To figure out if that was the lady that was known in the town. And he's like confirming everything. And grandma's like, oh my God. Like, what did you say to her? He's like, I didn't say anything to her. I just like was wondering why she was looking at me because she kept staring at me. And instantly, grandma knew. So grandma immediately went and got help, got some of the family members together to tell them what happened. Everybody's like, oh shit, like why? You don't know the custom around here and you come here walking around asking people why are they staring at you, like giving people attitude. So everybody got on his ass about it. And now he's scared. He's terrified because he didn't know it went this deep. As the day is going past and everybody's talking about it and they trying to figure out a way, like they're trying to figure out if they need to go to her, but nobody wants to go to her because they're that scared of her. They start to notice that Miguel's skin is starting to turn gray. And the more his skin started turning gray, the more his breath started being short. And that's when they realized, like, oh, we probably don't have no time. We need to do something now. One of the family members calls up his pastor. His pastor comes over to pray on him because at this point, like, he's starting to get bad. And the pastor is praying and praying and praying, but nothing's happening. Like, he's not getting better. At this point, he's really having trouble breathing. And so somebody says, like, we have to go over there and apologize on behalf of him and let her know that he's not from out here, so he doesn't know how it works. So they agree on that. They go over to the lady's house. They knock on her door. She comes out and they immediately start apologizing. And she's just staring at them the whole time. Like each and every one of them are apologizing. The boy's over there gray and can't breathe. And so once they're done, they're like, so are you going to forgive him? Like, the lady looks at them and was like, it's too late. And she closes her door and went back inside. They knew better not to stay. They knew they had to go. After she closes her door, get off her property. So they went back home. Pastor is still praying and praying and praying and praying. He prayed damn near all night. And then everybody decided to have a break and go to sleep. And they all surround him, you know, to make sure that he's okay. They didn't take him to the hospital because they know what was up. They knew the hospital wasn't going to be able to save him. And so in the morning, when everybody wakes up, Miguel is gone. He's gone. He has disappeared. No doors were open. No windows were open. He was just not on the bed anymore. Mind you, people surrounded him. They were next to him while they were sleeping. He's not there. But you know what was there? That same doll. That same doll that he found the first time was sitting right in the same spot that he was laying in. And y'all want to know the even crazier part? No one ever found Miguel ever again. No one dared to try to go question the lady about it because they don't want to end up like Miguel. Watch out for those people at those roast sessions that take things a little too serious. Scary story time. So this story is going to be a little short, but it's still a good story. Once again, my dad's story. So if you've been watching me by now, you know about the block that my dad used to hang out on by his grandmother's house. Y'all know that that's the block, the lit block. And of course, if you have a lit block, you're gonna have a whole bunch of young men gelling off of each other. I'm from Jersey, so yes, I say gelling. Anyways, those group of boys, they gel off of each other. They gel off of somebody walking down the street. They gel off of the neighbors. They gel off of their mama, their grandmother. It don't matter. And most people find it funny because it's really not that serious. For example, there was this man that would wear these types of hats all the time, and they made a nickname for him and called him Cowboy his entire time he lived on that block. And for my dad, they called him a priest because every time they go out to like parties and stuff, he wasn't always like on all the girls like all the other guys were, so they called him a priest. Anyways, y'all get the point. The whole neighborhood knows these boys as the gellers. They gel off of each other and everybody. It's a joke. It's not that serious. Oh, but some people didn't think so. There was one specific person. I don't know if they said something to that that hit a nerve or something, but that person took it upon themselves to go do voodoo on each and every one of those boys. Now, my dad used to hang out with those boys, of course, it's like the block, but he wasn't really part of the huge gelling. You know, he'll say a couple jokes here and there, but they were like the main ones that would gel all the time. So like I said before, there was one person who I don't know if they said something about their mama. They went and did voodoo to each and every one of those boys. But there was also this lady that lived in the neighborhood that did voodoo, but she did the good kind. Her voodoo was the good voodoo, the more healing voodoo and medicine voodoo. So one day she went to hang out at one of her friend's house, one of the neighbors, and as soon as she gets there, her loa took over. Now, if you don't know what a loa is, it's whatever spirit that she's worshiping at the time. They can take over you, possess you, you dance, you do whatever. It's not even you, it's the loa. Anyway, the loa took over, but the loa took over to warn these boys. So it took over, she starts chanting, she starts dancing, and she immediately says, name by name, all these. It's 1 a.m. where I am now. I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's story time. So you know what that means. Go get your snack or meal. I don't care, except for the people celebrating Ramadan. No snack or meal for you. Now, the reason why I'm up this late, if you were in my live, you already know, but I just released a new ebook called The Breakup Cleanse, and it's a spiritual guide to help you heal, let go of past pain, and protect your energy after a breakup. Now, a lot of people don't know that breakups are very spiritual because you were tied to that person. Especially to those that was doing the do while you're on your period. Yeah. You tied yourself to that person. That's why it's so hard to get over them. But that's why I have this ebook. It's called The Breakup Lens. It's called The Breakup Cleanse, and it's in the link in the bio. Click the link tree and it's going to be right there. Or if you just want to protect yourself from, regular dark stuff that I'll be talking about, there's the other ebook called Cleansed and Covered. I hear you guys' demands and I'm always going to provide. Now on to the story. I'm not going to go on too much. So there's this girl named Maya. Now, Maya and her friends, they have a side gig where they babysit. One of her friends was supposed to babysit this little boy, but an emergency came up and she asked Maya if Maya can cover for her. So Maya's like, yeah, extra money, of course. So she goes to the parents' house, and when she gets there, she greets the parents. She introduces herself and everything. And as she was talking to the parents, something about them felt off. For example, like the dad refused to make eye contact with her. And her mom, Noah's mom, let's call the little boy Noah. Noah's mom just, when she was talking to, what did we call her? Maya. When she was talking to Maya, it was as if she was trying to memorize Maya's face. Maya didn't really think too much of it. Like, she tried to brush it off. She's done a lot of weird babysitting jobs, so this wouldn't be the first. So the mom basically says, the little boy, Noah, is already fed, so he's ready to go. Just make sure he's in bed by 9 o'clock. We don't really have any rules. You can help yourself to the food or whatever. There's only one rule that we have. And she pointed at a specific closet in the hallway and said, just don't open that closet. That should have been Maya's first red flag, right? But she was just like, again, she's done weird babysitting jobs. Some people have private rooms and she don't even want to know what's in there anyway. So she's like, cool, you got it. So the parents leave. Noah was in front of the TV watching TV. He wasn't really, much of a bother. He was just in front of his TV minding his business. And so after about 30 minutes, Maya goes up to Noah and says, hey, buddy, do you want to play a game before you go to bed or watch a movie? We could do something fun before you go to bed. And Noah dead looks at her and goes, we have to be quiet. She doesn't like noise. Nani? So Maya instantly felt like a chill up her spine. So she asked him, who doesn't like noise? And the little boy says, the lady in the closet. At this point, the fear is starting to grow in Maya and she's frozen. So Maya asked him, what fucking lady? Ain't no lady in here. Nah, but she asked him, what lady in the closet? The little boy just shrugs and was just like, she likes to come out in the dark, but don't worry, she's gonna look like mommy so you don't get too scared. At this point, Maya's like, fuck this. Her voice starts getting shaky. So she says to Noah, that's not funny. If you're trying to prank me, that's not funny. That's actually really creepy. Noah's like, why? Maya's like, because your mom is your mom. What lady in the closet that's gonna look like your mom? The little boy didn't even say anything. He just shrugged again, turned back to the TV, and whispered, not always.
That shit was creepy. Really, 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 really creepy. I love her story. Shout out Real Blizzy. Thanks for these stories, boo. But yeah, next story.
Wanna go get your snacks? No, because I can't have one. If I can't have one, you can't have one. I don't make the rules. As some of you guys may know, I have a really bad wisdom toothache. You can even tell if you look, like this side of my face is swollen compared to this one. So I'm going to be speaking weirdly, but scary story time. I just feel like I went way too long without giving y'all the story. So here's a quick one. So there's this guy. He's an aspiring musician, and like him and every other musician, you know, they want to make it in the industry, but the demand is so high that, you know, it makes it very hard. One day he's in the studio, he found this new producer. The producer's awesome. The producer is so good because that producer works with celebrities, and they ended up meeting each other through a mutual friend. So that night he worked with that producer, and they actually became really cool afterwards. The producer loved his voice, and he loved the producer's work. And so they became cool pretty quickly. And then one day the producer was having a studio session with this very well-known celebrity, which I will not name because, baby, I am not getting sued. So of course he's excited. This is one of like the people that he looks up to. So the day comes, he goes to the studio session. This story is going to be very short, by the way. But he goes to the studio session. He meets the celebrity. They have a great session. He has a great time. The celebrity instantly fell in love with his voice and his music. And he's just explaining to the celebrity how he's just trying to make it out here with raw talent. And the celebrity liked him so much that the celebrity told him, I don't do this a lot, but I can show you how to make it out here. So the guy, let's call him Mark. Mark is the musician. So Mark is excited. Mark is like, yeah, show me how I can make it. Mark is excited. He's like, this guy's about to teach me the ins and outs of the industry and how to make it, how to network. They exchanged numbers, and the celebrity said, I will be hitting your phone very soon. So a few days go past, and the celebrity does hit him up. The celebrity is like, hey, Mark, I loved meeting you the other day, and I love how dedicated you are to making it in this industry, and I'm willing to, like, you know, let you know how to do that. So here's this address. Come meet me there on this day at that date. Not date, I meant time. So Mark is super excited. He automatically, the date and the time that he gave him, he put that on his schedule and he canceled everything. And when the day came, he went, and the celebrity met him outside of the place. And, you know, they greet each other, and before they walk in, the celebrity says, hey, this may freak you out a little bit, but I do need to let you know that a lot of celebrities do it in order to make it. So that little statement raised some red flags in Mark's head. But Mark is like, hey, let me see what this is about. So they get inside the place, and Mark says it is an entire ritual demonic room. So basically, allegedly, a lot of celebrities do witchcraft so that they can stay and continue to be celebrities and continue to have the fame and the money and everything. And the rapper is kind of like, hey, this is how, you know, this is how people do it. This is how the celebrities do it. Some of the most successful celebrities that you know, this is what they do. And immediately Mark was like, hey man, I'm not really into that kind of stuff. Like, I know I want to make it, but it's really not that serious. I don't want to make it that bad. And the celebrity was very understanding. He was like, I understand. This can be, you know, this can freak some people out. And Mark was like, hey man, thank you, but you know, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna have to go. Mark left out of there so fast, and guess what? Mark never did music again. He was literally like scarred. He's like, if this is what I need to do in order to get in the industry, then I don't need to be in the industry. This story was very short, but that's only because I can only talk so much. Bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all some more.
Still a very good story, so thank you, girl. But you reached the end of another video. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, baby. I do not take it for granted. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Soul Tribe. Okay, now listen, my hair. I sat to the girls. The video's over, okay? Let's talk. I sat for freaking 16 hours last Saturday to get micro locks by someone who claims they're a loctician, but didn't know how to braid, didn't know how, I got micro lock extensions, didn't know how to connect the hair, said that the hair was horrible, even though she recommended me get that hair. And yeah, it was a waste of my time, a waste of my money, and it was a horrible experience, but the only good thing that came out of it was I learned how to cater to my own hair. And so therefore I took out what she did and cleansed my hair and blessed my hair, because I don't know what kind of bad energy she could have left around, honey, and I ain't playing. And yeah, I did my own hair. It took me 4 days to do my own micro locks, but I'm happy. I'm very happy with the result. I still have to actually lock them because I only braided them. So, you can see the back, but I'm too embarrassed to show the before, so I'm not going to show the before, but it was horrible, okay? Really bad. And I'm excited and happy with the end result. Reason for no nails. I had to take my nails off to do my hair. It is what it is. But yeah, she played me, but karma's real. And it is what it is, so I'm happy. But my last 2 weeks, honey, my last 2 weeks were so just weird. Like, between school, between work, between my hair, between my apartment, it was just a lot going on. But we made it through, okay? Because I know it would, I know it does, and it always does. Everything works out for my greater good, okay? So I just kept repeating that, putting that energy in the air, because I knew it was going to get better. But it was tough. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. Okay. And just stay prayed up, y'all. Stay safe. Have faith. You know, you still got to put in action. Prayer without works is insanity. Okay. And it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just, you know, and it wasn't just a random ass person. It wasn't somebody I just met and we were like so-called cool. She was actually a soul triber. And yeah, so if you see this, it is what it is. But you knew you were wrong, and you knew you should not have your hands in my hair, period. Anyway, peace, light, and love, okay? It is what it is, Ashe. But I love y'all. Thank y'all for choosing to spend your time with me. And we'll catch you in the next video. And my makeup looks weird. I know that. I don't know what the fuck I did, but it's done. And I didn't notice until I went into the bathroom halfway through recording. And I said, what the fuck? Well, I looked on the camera, I should say, and it didn't like how it looks. I went back in the bathroom, tried to do something to change it. I don't know if it changed or not. It is what it is. I was not doing the video over because of a bad makeup job. But I love y'all. And I hope you like my girl talk, because I don't think I'm going to add girl talk to the end of the videos, because I just like to talk and I be wanting to sell my business. I just do. If it's, you know, what's worth telling. Don't mind me. Anyway, all right, y'all. Ashe. Open my third eyes, on my way. I'ma open my one eye, be in the bitch. You on my body, but I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religion, but you two are true. If you see, I know